afternoon. Wow, this is so amazing to see standing room only. This really proves the excitement and support that we have for this project. My name is Lana Fontenot. I serve as South Louisiana Community College's Vice Chancellor for Institutional Advancement and External Relations, and also dually serve as the Executive Director of the SLCC Foundation. It is so great to be here today in Baldwin, such an exciting day, one that has actually been years in the making. When I was having a conversation with David a little bit earlier, I thought it had maybe been about 4 or 5 years, but you've corrected me that it's been about 17 years in the making to make this a reality.
About 7 years, we started talking about it, then we moved locations, and then here we are today.
Yeah, amazing. Amazing that we're here today. So I don't want to steal the speaker's thunder and the information they're going to give about the project and its background, but I do just want to mention on the importance of this facility. And you know, a lot of times we hear the message that it takes a village to raise a child, but it also takes a village, as you can see here today, to make incredible projects like this in St. Mary come to fruition for sure. You know, I often say, whenever I'm out and about speaking on behalf of SLCC and along with our chancellor, just close your eyes and imagine Acadiana, or in this case, St. Mary Parish, and if we could just turn the dial just a little bit, right, on workforce development, if we could turn the dial on educational attainment, what would our parish, what would our region look like? How would this change the families of St. Mary Parish, the overall quality of life in the parish? Less crime, less reliance on social assistance, more vitality within our local business and industries. And this training center today is the turning of that dial, which is extremely exciting. So before we announce the speakers and of course get to the business of the day, which is to cut the ribbon on this beautiful facility, I do want to acknowledge a few guests that are in attendance today. First, I want to acknowledge some folks from SLCC's administration. First, we have Dr. Vincent June, Chancellor of SLCC. Mr. Stephen Matthews, he is our Vice President of Economic and Workforce Development. I saw him a while ago. Mr. Anthony Bayham, the Dean for Maritime and Continuing Education. Ms. Tammy Moore, our Campus Director for Young Memorial and our Franklin campuses. Dr. Crystal Lee, Vice Chancellor of Academic and Student Affairs. Thank you, Dr. Lee. Have a lot of staff who joined us from SLCC, so if you are in attendance, if you could just wave. Thank you guys so much for coming. I appreciate the support. Okay, and bear with me, as you can see from the standing room only, we have a lot of partners, and I hope I don't leave anybody out, but let me start recognizing our community leaders and our distinguished guests. We have Mr. David Allen, the Director of the Port of West St. Mary. Mr. Joshua Manning with South Central Planning. Thank you. We have several members in attendance of the West St. Mary Port Commission. Thank you guys for coming. You guys can wait. Mr. Carl Bloom, the architect for the project. Mr. Carl, where are you? Ah, there you go. Thank you for coming. Mr. Vinny St. Blanc, representative for District 50. Miss Beth Chasson with the St. Mary Chamber, and we also have members of the Chamber as well. If you guys could wait, thank you for coming. Man, y'all are like rolling deep for this event. I love it. Reed Miller, the engineering firm who oversaw the project. If members could wait. We have our fantastic partners with One Acadiana. If you guys could wait, thank y'all for coming. Mr. Glenn Touchette with ARL Construction, the general contractor for the project. Mr. Christian Bajeron, Congressman Garrett Graves' office. Thank you for attending. We love our media partners. We have several in attendance. Thank you guys so much for joining us and always covering us. We have Cindy Cotrera from the Port of Morgan City. Thank you for coming, Cindy. Mr. Eugene Folkar, the Mayor of Franklin. Mr. Mr. Clarence Vappy, the mayor of Baldwin. Mr. Bo LaGrange, the CAO of St. Mary Parish Government. And are there any political leaders that we missed? Oh, you guys are on the program. We're going to be introducing you guys in just a minute. Great. All right. Well, thank y'all so much for coming. We will begin our partner remarks, beginning with Dr. Vincent June, our Chancellor.
Thank you. Thank you, Lana. And let me publicly apologize for my tardiness. I was actually on time. And then the state trooper pulled a couple people over, and I sat there in traffic for about 10 minutes, so I apologize. But nonetheless, with a beautiful day like this and an opportunity that we're here to recognize, why complain, right? The Port of West St. Mary Training Facility really was not my vision, so I totally cannot take ownership or responsibility for this. I was actually kind of given the baton. The vision of this and the conversation that took place was with our former chancellor, Dr. Natalie Harder, who moved on to become president at Coker University, as well as with Senator Brett Allen and David Allen. It really was already moving in the right direction, and the baton was handed to me, and I can't think of a better way than to recognize those individuals. But first of all, good afternoon, and allow me to say that we are certainly here to celebrate the grand opening of this new state-of-the-art multi-purpose training facility. Mr. Glatter and myself and Anthony Bayham, who've been very instrumental in working with David Allen and several other partners, we have put on our outdoor shoes. I have some lawn shoes that I normally use that I'm more in the yard that I've been putting on coming back and forth to this facility, and initially it did not look like this. So to be able to recognize a facility like this is a major step forward, particularly for workforce development in this region, but also providing students with access to cutting-edge technology and practical technical training experiences. I would like to express gratitude, particularly to the Port of West St. Mary and the state for their support in opening this facility. But I want, again, give special thanks to David Allen, Senator Brett Allen, the former chancellor of SOCC, and Mr. Anthony Bayham, Mr. Brian Glatter, who is our CFO, but all things facilities and constructions falls under him, and he has taken off his shirt and tie many days to come out and to not only view and assess what needs to be done, but he has certainly made some things happen in a short period of time. I also want to recognize the EDA grant that was extremely instrumental in fulfilling our commitment to this well-trained, to support a well-trained workforce. But know this, together we know that education and training are the keys to creating higher skill, living wage jobs for people living right here in our community. We have new classrooms that you will be able to experience, welding booths, and a CDL pad for training maneuvers. We also have the opportunity of sharing high-class, high-quality instructors and administrators who get it, right? Workforce is certainly not my wheelhouse. That is a wheelhouse of Mr. Stephen Matthews, as well as Mr. Anthony Bayham, and I have no doubt that we will have cutting-edge types of trainings brought to this wonderful facility. The partnership between SOCC and the Port of West St. Mary will better serve the community and provide students with the tools they need to succeed. So without further ado, let me say on behalf of SOCC, thank you for joining us today, and trust me, we will witness greatness from this particular facility. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. June. And as he alluded to, this facility is the result of an incredible partnership between South Louisiana Community College and the Port. And so I would like to call up Mr. Greg Paul, the president of the Port of West St. Mary, to make some comments.
Good afternoon. My wife wanted me to, this is They working?
I'll get it really loud.
Okay, all right, good. My wife wanted me to do a lot of cards and all, and I'm not that kind of a person. I usually just speak right off the top of my head. But anyway, we were involved in this project, and at some point in time, we had a lot of problems. The problems that we had was getting materials. The steel situation was, Ray, we just couldn't get the steel that we needed. But we continued to go along with this project, and finally got it to the point where we got it finished. We can thank the engineering firm of Mills for what they did. There are other folks that's involved that was able to have this project put on board, and I'd just like to say that we are thrilled to have done what we were able to do. And I'd like for the board members that's here, please stand up. These are the guys and the ladies that endured with us, and we really appreciate how this facility turned out. So without taking up all your time, because I know you want to get to the refreshments.
I was going to say, Mr. Ray, we don't have those kind of refreshments. All right, next up, also representing the port is Mr. Sam Jones, the Port Commissioner, and also a former state representative. Mr. Jones.
This project started about 6 years ago when the bulkheading had an overfunding of about $200,000, and I was in the House and I put that $200,000 into this project. Senator Allen, who's been a great partner. We were a great 1-2 team. In fact, during our terms together, we brought $800 million back to this parish. Yeah. $800 million. And he's still got one session left. And I work for the governor, and that doesn't hurt either. But our vision is to fund the necessary things that need to be funded. This project ended up costing a whole lot more than what the initial allocation was, and nobody could have done this other than David Allen, who went and got the extra money from the feds.
All right, David.
And I want to thank the board members of this commission because they were all in. Everybody was in 100%. I think this is a great facility. It's here for the community. It's here for our growth, and there's many more to come. Pretty soon, we're going to have one corridor that's going to be an industrial corridor from Lafayette all the way to Houma. And this is just one more piece. So I thank you. I thank you for having me, and let's keep working.
As Dr. June mentioned in his comments, we are starting out with welding training as well as CDL training as well, but we're extremely excited and very open to opportunities to bring other short-term training, workforce training opportunities to this training center as well. Now I want to call up a couple of community leaders, beginning with Mr. Brett Allen II, State Senator for District 21.
Well, what a wonderful day. If y'all should have all gotten the casual memo, but if you didn't, I appreciate you being here. Look, this has been a long time in the planning, and since Sam and I served together for 2 terms, but since we've been in the legislature, it was always how could we use whatever extra money we had or whatever money we had to improve life and the quality of life in St. Mary Parish and the surrounding area. And there are 2 ways to do it. Infrastructure, which we've done a lot of road work and a lot of infrastructure around here, and infrastructure that creates jobs. okay? Without a workforce, you're not going to attract the industries to come here, and the infrastructure helps attract them also. So pretty much during my whole career, we've emphasized and tried to make it clear that jobs, and more jobs in this area, and the infrastructure that goes along with it will attract people, will attract money, will attract everything that it takes to build the community up. That's been our emphasis and our goal, and I think we're well on the way with a lot of improvements that we're making in the area, not only here, but SLCC in Lafayette and Fletcher and Young Memorial and Dickles. We're doing a lot to do that. And also on the medical front, the new nursing school that we're building will be state-of-the-art since COVID. Nursing and needs for nurses has been tremendous. We're building a brand new $25 million nursing school at Nichols. The wellness center that you see going up in Franklin. All of this together is to improve the life and quality and jobs in this area, and I'm glad to be part of it. I'd like to call out my cousin David Allen. This is kind of an Allen affair. He came to me. We did have some money left over. He got a grant. There was some needs for some more money. The state actually kicked in close to $500,000 or $600,000 for this project, and all the combined resources together. You see the facility here. We're going to be training welders. We're going to be training CDL drivers, and we'll be training any other job needs that we have in this area. And it's right here in West St. Mary. Thank y'all.
That's right. And in terms of the facility, I believe we have an update that we're waiting on just a few pieces, final pieces of equipment, and we hope in the next 60 days to start training, which is really, really exciting. So next up, we have our parish president for St. Mary Parish, Mr. David Hannegriff.
I got the memo. Jean's Wednesday, so we're good. Look, a glorious day for St. Mary Parish. I mean, it's fitting the weather outside, and we're actually here again celebrating this great facility. This is a fantastic facility to actually train our state-of-the-art workforce. Okay. One thing is this: many of you know I actually own a machine and fabrication shop in Centerville. We've been there for 113 years, so I know how important it is to have a strong, well-qualified workforce. I know, and I remember back in the day whenever you would have to train your own employees, your own welders, your own machinists. They didn't have facilities back then readily available like they have now. Scott has these tips. I know the same thing. I know you probably trained many of welders at Gulfcraft. Same thing with Metal Shark and everyone else. Back in the day, you had to train. But guess what? When that happened, it cost money. Right now, it took between 2 to 3 years before we actually could make money on a welder, and maybe sometimes 5 years on a machinist. So having this facility here to train the workforce to where we can actually put people in there right away making money for our business only helps the economy. So I want to thank all the partners here, everyone involved. This is a great facility. SLCC, I know you can do a fantastic job. And everyone, welcome to St. Mary Parish. Thank you.
Thank you so much, David. So now is the time we've all been waiting for. Let me just say we could not have asked or prayed for better weather. It is the most beautiful day outside, very fitting for the excitement today. So we are going to proceed outdoors to cut the ribbon. I know we're going to make sure our media is ready to go. After we cut the ribbon, though, you guys can come back in, enjoy some of those refreshments and beverages that you were talking about. Don't get too excited about them. And also just take a walk about the facility and get to see some of the welding booths and classrooms. So let's all proceed outdoors to cut this ribbon.
Good time, man. All right. I know you run it every time. Thank you.
Absolutely, that'd be great. Listen, Will, I'm starting to think you're running for something. This is 2 days.
No, I'm running from things.
I don't blame you. Hey, how you doing? Good. I don't blame you.
I got it. Good timing, man.
Hey, you're welcome. Hey, you're welcome.
I think I got you a good spot.
Thank you.
It's gonna be right back there.
Yep, we're good. Nick, I'm gonna.
Right? Maybe? We might need to step out this way and do it just.
Okay. Well, let's see. Yeah. Well, I think all the media's already stationed right here. Hey, girlfriend.
We can back up.
What do you recommend?
We can back up. We're good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you want them in the sun. Yeah.
So we're just gonna have them by the cores and everyone right here. Okay.
Oh, you have that. Oh, look, here I am. I thought those were them.
Perfect spot.
The good thing about being short, they can't put you in the back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I hear you.
Kayla, can you come hold Dr. J's phone for a second? I don't want to.
SLCC Community College Training Center grand opening of ribbon cutting.
We're gonna line
They're
up
about to
along
do
the
that ribbon
front,
cutting
behind the cars
here
right
at
here.
Port of West St. Mary to officially open this facility that's expected to open in about 60 days. Again, this is the South Louisiana Community College Training Center grand opening. This has been in the making for quite some time, and it's about to finally open. Train CDL drivers and riders to better prepare the workforce in this area.
Where's Senator Allen? Okay, and David, Mr. Jones.
I get to sit by you.
Okay, all right, guys.
David, right head
Dr. Jim.
I'm back here.
Would it be
I think you've been voluntold by the whole group.
Dr. June, I need you to
If you
David
wouldn't
needs to
mind.
cut the ribbon.
Would you like to hold it? Okay.
guys.
Okay,
Someone
let's,
has the
let's back up a little bit. Yeah.
Oh. Everyone
Okay.
ready?
Let's get in position. Okay. Oh, this is.
Somebody count.
Ready?
Okay, I can
Okay, do you mind?
Oh, wait.
Wait, hold on 1 second.
Give us the count, please.
Leave it.
We will.
Come on, Brandon.
Leave it to me to be in the way.
You got
Just
it?
to get everybody in the frame.
Yeah, buddy. Play with
Okay,
it.
so we got it. 1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah.
All right. I don't miss it.
Yeah.
Congratulations.